Is reality star and advocate Savannah Chrisley ready to run for office amid her parents' pardon and release? She has worked very closely with political figures in order to get her voice heard. So, is that her next step? Keep reading for more details on what Savannah is up to. The moment that Todd and Julie Chrisley were sent away to their respective prisons, it was game on. Their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, immediately stepped into action and was ready and willing to do anything to free them. She campaigned and spoke on behalf of President Donald Trump and made her voice as well as her presence known. Furthermore, she stated that she would be talking to his team about getting her parents a pardon. Ultimately, she received the phone call that they had been pardoned and would be home within a day. There was some speculation as to how she got this pardon, if it was more than being extremely vocal and persistent. She has continued to deny exchanging any favors and just did not stop until she got what she wanted. Since Savannah has the eye of the tiger, is she setting her sights on entering government moving forward? She admitted that she is contemplating a congressional run, given that she has been very proactive with the current administration. Savannah has been very vocal regarding prison reform after the harsh conditions her parents faced. Plus, she spoke at that RNC, which was a big moment for the reality star. Host Juju Chang shared that when she saw Savannah Chrisley speak at the 2024 RNC, she questioned if her next stop was politics. Todd Chrisley jumped right in with, she has acknowledged that working to fix what she feels is a broken prison system is of utmost importance. Moreover, Savannah had the impression prison was solely for bad people, and has since learned this is false. Many need to be rehabilitated and receive mental health care over a long sentence. Savannah Chrisley made it clear that talks of a congressional run have happened. However, the 27-year-old reiterated what her bottom line in the political sphere is. Savannah knows how lucky she is to have her parents back after initially receiving a total of 19 years behind bars. They served a little over 2 years before being pardoned and are determined to help their fellow inmates. Todd and Julie Chrisley spoke fondly of the people they met during their time and feel that many deserve a second chance. So, if Savannah does run, will she get votes? Many followers wanted to know what she actually knew about politics. Others believed she still had a lot of life to live before she could enter the political arena. Time will tell what route Savannah Chrisley takes, but can you see her in Congress? Or should she stick to advocacy work? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The sun hovered low over Nashville's skyline, casting long amber streaks across the city's oldest buildings. Inside a modest yet sleek campaign headquarters in the Gulch District, Savannah Chrisley stood beneath a banner emblazoned with her name, arms crossed, expression steel-hardened with determination. The American flag hung at her back. Photographers flitted through the room like hummingbirds, snapping every possible angle of the youngest Chrisley's first big political step. Her campaign colors were navy and gold. Her logo, minimal and sharp. But it wasn't the aesthetics drawing attention. It was the seismic wave her announcement had created. Savannah Chrisley, reality star turned caregiver, was officially entering the political arena. The timing was more than curious. Whispers of a presidential pardon for her incarcerated parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, had surfaced just days before. Speculation ignited like wildfire. The city buzzed. Pundits speculated. And somewhere, behind heavy prison gates, Savannah's parents waited. Savannah had long ago traded her reality TV glam for something more grounded. Since her parents' sentencing, she'd become the guardian of her younger brother Grayson and niece Chloe. The giggle reels and drama arcs of Chrisley Knows best were gone, replaced by custody court dates, tearful bedtime conversations, and morning drives to school through traffic. Something in her had changed. The girl who once fought over wardrobe malfunctions on cable TV had matured into a woman capable of facing down reporters, lawyers, and now, apparently, elected officials. It hadn't started as a political campaign. At first, she'd merely attended community meetings, neighborhood concerns about crime rates, school board debates, budget arguments. But soon, she wasn't just observing. She was speaking up, volunteering, organizing. Then came the whispers. Savannah might run. Then the headlines. Savannah is running. No one was ready. Some thought it a publicity stunt. Another chapter in the Chrisley family saga. Others thought it strategic, timed perfectly to redirect the national narrative around her parents' convictions for tax evasion. Savannah understood. This wasn't about optics. This was personal. This was war. Behind closed doors, Savannah poured herself into preparation. She met with campaign strategists, lawyers, and political analysts. She studied municipal codes and criminal justice reform. She spent hours with her father's former accountants, learning the language of finance, court filings, and loopholes. What the public saw was a young woman launching a campaign. What they didn't see was a daughter arming herself for a revolution. And still, questions burned across every news channel in America. Was Savannah Chrisley using her political bid to influence her parents' legal fate? No statement. No comment. Just Savannah, relentless. One late night, while the campaign team filtered out of HQ, Savannah remained alone. A corkboard wall loomed before her. Photos of her family pinned in a mosaic of memories. Grayson's Little League game. Chloe's science fair. Julie's birthday brunch. Todd in one of his absurd designer jackets. Their smiles seemed to watch her now. The pardon rumors hadn't come from nowhere. A well-placed source inside the Department of Justice had leaked a list of individuals being considered for clemency. Todd and Julie's names were there, right at the bottom, marked with a red asterisk and the word pending. Pending what? Political traction? Public sympathy? An election cycle? Savannah knew the game. Clemency wasn't about justice. It was about leverage. The next morning, her motorcade moved across downtown Nashville, flanked by press vans. They weren't covering her policy on education reform. They weren't asking about her plan for affordable housing. They only wanted to know, did Savannah think her political platform could sway Washington? She gave them nothing. Instead, she marched into the community center in Antioch, shook hands with veterans, hugged single mothers, helped distribute boxed lunches to laid-off workers, and toured a homeless outreach van. The cameras followed, hungry. But Savannah kept the story on the people. What they didn't capture was the man in the black SUV who watched her from across the street. A former legal aide to one of the state's senators. Now a quiet consultant on political favor trading. He had once been part of the machine that processed clemency requests. And now he watched Savannah like she was a chess piece being moved in plain sight. Rumors drifted through Washington like pollen. Some said Savannah had cut a deal. Others said she was building leverage. Some believed she had compromising files on key officials, financial inconsistencies buried deep in old court documents. None of it was proven, but the whispers persisted. At the Tennessee state capitol, members of both parties were at odds. Was her campaign legitimate? Was it a smokescreen? The ethics committee had begun drafting a review, but the public didn't seem to care. If anything, they admired her resilience. Polls soared. Savannah had become a symbol of grit, a daughter who refused to be broken by scandal. And as her campaign grew louder, the walls around her parents' case began to shift. One afternoon, Savannah received an envelope slid beneath the campaign office door. No stamp, no name, just her first initial. Inside, a copy of the pardon draft. Unofficial. Mark for review. Her hands trembled as she unfolded the thick white paper. It was real, not signed, not final, but real. At the bottom, handwritten in black ink, prove you're more than a headline. The message was both a dare and a warning. That week, Savannah doubled her campaign stops. She didn't shy from tough topics. She stood with victims of injustice. She visited inner-city schools and rural clinics. She listened. She learned. And she made no mention of Todd or Julie. Her focus remained outward. Her silence on the pardon matter was deafening, and yet strategic. Her campaign manager, a stern woman named Connie with gray roots and an iron jawline, Watch the strategy unfold with hawk-like precision. Behind Savannah's charm was a blueprint. Every handshake calculated, every social media post pre-scheduled, every town hall choreographed like a ballet. Behind the curtains, however, Savannah wrestled with guilt. Was she exploiting the system? Or was she bending it towards something better? Todd and Julie called whenever they could. Their voices came through static and delay, cheerful yet tinged with the ache of confinement. They never asked about the campaign, not directly. But Savannah knew they were hoping she'd win, hoping she'd influence, hoping she'd deliver their freedom. Then, just as quickly as the draft had surfaced, the Justice Department went quiet. The list of potential pardons vanished from internal logs. The leak was traced. Someone had been fired. And Savannah knew her window was closing.